Hello, today is November 3 and today wala akong magawa sa dorm and I'm alone. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give me some questions I can ask to myself when I'm alone. So this is when you're alone you can have fun or interesting conversation. What the fuck? Ito. The first question is, what is the meaning of life? I think the meaning of life is to live it through. I believe that life is given to us because we were meant to do something, to give something, or just play a vital role in our environment or in our society. I believe that the main essence of life or the real meaning of life is to live it through. I believe that if we are talking about the definition of life itself, I believe that there is no such thing as definition of life. I think that the definition of life depends on who you are, what topological group you're in, and literally what you think you are, or what do you think is the meaning of life to you. So, in a nutshell, I'd say that the meaning of life depends on the person. But in general, I believe that the meaning of life is to live it through. Because I believe that if we live life through until our last breath, I think doon lang natin malalaman kung ano ba talaga ang meaning ng life and the essence of us. Next. Mm, so the next question is, what parts of myself do I tend to hide from others and why? I think one part of myself that I tend to hide to people is the idea that I am sensitive and the truth that I am literally a kid inside of me. I just think that people have this certain thought of me that I am an iron tough type of person, or I have this sense of self na sobrang strong and independent. But the thing is, I am very sensitive. I I really I really feel small changes in tones, in the way they talk, and their moods. And most of the time, I overthink about those stuff, especially when I'm in a conversation with someone and then I feel like there's a sudden shift in mood or in tone. I would take it a little personal. I know it's wrong to think about that way, but as someone who grew up in a household that has a really vocal family, or not so vocal pala, a family household that doesn't really speak about their emotions, I tend to be sensitive about those stuff, especially when there is something going on. I really feel that the tension every time na magkakaroon ng changes and sudden shifts sa mood na atmosphere ganun and everything nice. The next question is what is one life lesson I've learned the hard way? I think one life lesson I learned the hard way is you don't have to be anybody's people. Because when I was younger, I used to think that I want I used to say to myself that I need to be loved by everyone. I need to be as smart, as good, and as bold as I can get. But the thing is, when I turned into when I was in elementary, I was bullied for being too feminine and being, girly like and everything, stuff like that. And it's normal for kids to joke about those stuff, but it's not normal because it affects me mentally and emotionally. Actually, up until now, I have this really bad relationship with friends and people, especially with my classmates, because I don't know, I just tend to think that they think negatively of me because of that stuff. So yeah, I think one lesson that I have learned the hard way is that you cannot please anyone and you cannot be anybody's people. Everybody's people pala. Kasi as much as you wanted to be as kind, as good, and as welcoming to other people, I believe that it's really important to know your people. Importante na alam mo kung sino lang yung mga tao nagre-reciprocate um, ng energy, ng power, and yung time na binibigay mo. Because I believe that in the end of the day, all people or yung mga taong nabigyan mo ng energy, ng power, and ng things and stuff, they wouldn't be able to reciprocate it. Pero you have to be genuine sa lahat ng interaction. You you need to be thoughtful enough na you don't need reciprocity. But the thing about what I'm saying is that not all people can be pleased, okay? And not all people can love you, like you, or anything. That's one thing I wanted to say. Do you think people are inherently good or evil? No. I think that good or evil is a social construct, and it is true that there is a good and evil in many situations, but I think that good and evil are built or nurtured. I believe that our experiences. I believe in empiricism. So if you don't experience something, you will never learn it. You will never know how it feels. So yeah, I feel like being good or being evil depends on our experiences, our perspective about our experiences, our interpretations about experiences, and literally how we were raised as an infant or as a kid or as an adult. And I think that the big and the major part of our becoming is us being an adult, being an infant or kid. Kasi naniniwala talaga ako na if you were raised in a loving house, yes, some cases meron pa ding, you know, minimal for evil kids to grow. But time and time, marirealize natin how big it is kung paano natin ni-raise yung mga bata. It is really important na i-raise natin sila in a loving, understanding environment that they will feel loved and treasured para maramdaman kasi naniwala talaga ako na if someone is incapable to give love to other people, it's because they don't know what love is. And kapag ang tao maraming alam magmahal or minamahal siya ng mga tao nagmamahal sa kanya, marunong din siya magmahal. I think that love is a reciprocity thing, although hindi palagi. But yeah, I think love is yun, something na ganun. Kaya hindi talaga ako naniniwala that there is good and evil na inborn. I believe that they are nurtured and they can be twisted pa rin. So yeah. So this one is the last question I wanted to answer. But this is really good. So it is about what is the difference between living and simply existing? I believe that living is uh, doing the things you love, and simply existing is just doing the things. There's a difference between the things you love and the things you do. I believe that the things you love are the things that makes you feel like you are not obligated to do them. And if you are living with love. You are living with harmony and peace within you. But if you're just simply existing, that doesn't mean that it's sad, okay? Hindi porket you're just existing, malungkot ka na. Kaya lang, the thing about here is that there's a difference between living and existing. Living is staying in the moment. Living is about wanting to be here, wanting to stay in the moment and do as much as you can in this moment of time. But for me, existing is just about wanting to just get through everything. Parang, okay lang yun, malampasan lang. Ganun. For me, that's existing. And hindi man porket mag-exist ka, malungkot ka na dapat. I feel like existing is a way of living pa din. But the thing is, when you are living, you are doing things the most. But if you're existing, you are just doing the things that you need to do. So in simple terms, in layman terms, living is doing the things you love or living in a way that you wanted to live. Existing is just letting the life pass through you, and I think that's the difference. But the thing is, it's up to you. Kung ikaw, anong gusto mo? Gusto mo you just have to exist. I believe that living and existing correlate. Okay? Yeah. So, as of now, nag-exist ka lang. You just, yun, I just feel like, as of now, if you feel like you're just living, just live through it. Live through the things you do right now. And one day, when it all makes sense, you will feel like living. And I hope that you get through that time when you feel like living. Ganun. So, bye-bye.